So you're thinking about making a move to Maricopa, Arizona, and you want to know, is it worth it? Is it good? What should I know about? Well, in this video today, we will be walking you through the pros and the cons about living and moving to Maricopa, Arizona. Maricopa is one of the fastest growing areas, not just in Phoenix, but in the US for smaller cities. So it's only about 60,000 people, but you might want to get in now before it gets too busy. But without further ado, let's get right into our first pro about living in Maricopa. So without a doubt, the number one reason why most people move to Maricopa is the affordability. It is much more affordable than other areas of the Phoenix metro. The really nice thing about living in Maricopa is you're only about 30 minutes to 45 if depending on what part of the city you need to go to, right? But you're actually very, very close to living in a huge Phoenix city, right? The nice thing is that, again, it's much more affordable here than if you were to live in like Gilbert or Chandler in the East Valley. So Eric, how affordable, right? If you want to buy a house, you can get a brand spanking new house 2024 for only $350,000. If you want to do that in Gilbert or Chandler, you're going to expect to pay at least $550,000. So the affordability is much, much, much better down here than in the Eastern Valley. So that is without a doubt the number one reason why people choose to live here in Maricopa is the affordability of the city. Now, one of the major cons about living in Maricopa, and honestly, this is why my wife and I did not choose to move down here, is we could not do the traffic. So the traffic getting in and out of Maricopa can be a major headache, especially if you're if you travel back to Phoenix every single day. I just had a client that closed on a house last year. She texted me and said, Eric, I can't do this anymore. It's too long, it gets way too backed up. For some reason, it's only a 2-lane highway and there are a couple stoplights on it. So that is one of the major reasons why it gets so backed up, is once you hit those stoplights, there's a ton of people coming in and out of Maricopa, so the traffic can get really long. Now, one of the best things, once you're down here, it's not bad. You can get pretty much anywhere in Maricopa within about 10 to 15 minutes, and that's like corner to corner. So there's only about 60,000 people, so it's not that big of a city or a little town, right? But if you need to go to Phoenix every day, it's just something to consider. You're gonna be looking at least a 30-minute minimum commute time, probably more like 45 minutes if you were to live here in Maricopa. Now, one of the second things, and this is like I briefly mentioned it with the first pro, is that Maricopa is growing like crazy. There's 62,000 people now. They're expecting it to just continue and continue to grow. So on average, there's about 2% of people that are moving here every single year. Doesn't sound like a lot, but you take that over 10 years, compound interest, right? It is going to get very, very, very busy. There's a ton of new restaurants that have gone in. There's a ton of new stores that have gone in. So Maricopa is growing like crazy. The really good thing is that, Phoenix, for the most part, right, the Phoenix general metro area, they're very, very forward thinking. So, and they're doing a really good job, again, with Maricopa. So, with the growing new neighborhoods that they're building in, almost every neighborhood has like green space and parks and walking and biking trails. So if that is something that you are thinking about, Maricopa is going to be an amazing spot for you to move to because everything is just brand new. Again, it's growing like crazy. Now, moving on to our second con, this one kind of goes hand in hand, with the first one, with the traffic, is that Maricopa, it is very far out. So again, if you work in like downtown Phoenix, or if you work in like downtown Gilbert or Chandler, or like northern Scottsdale, if you're working in northern Scottsdale, I would not recommend living in Maricopa. But just know, just everything is very far out. Maricopa does do a really good job of making sure that you have like all of your like regular everyday needs here in town. So, all your grocery shopping, your major grocery shopping, right? Some clothing stores, they got like a Marshall's here. They have, Ace Hardware, they got tire centers. You got doctors down here. So you have all your, everyday shopping needs. But if you need, like big shopping, or if you need, like Costco or Sam's, right? It's gonna be at least 30 minutes back up to the Chandler area or the Southern Tempe if that's a little bit closer. So just know that, in general, and again, the airport, right? If you like to travel a lot, it's gonna be at least 45 minutes depending on which part of Maricopa that you're at. So it is gonna be a little bit farther, and that is definitely one of the cons, especially for my wife and I, of why we did not choose to live in Maricopa. Now, all of these pros and cons, they kind of just keep tying into each other, so it actually works really good. But before we get to our next pro, guys, if you like this video so far, make sure you click the like button, comment down below, and make sure you subscribe. In this channel, we cover everything there is to know about living and moving to the beautiful and sunny, not today, I guess, but beautiful and sunny Phoenix, Arizona area. And if you are thinking about making a move, guys, pause the video. Our contact information is down below. We moved here from Nebraska a couple years ago. We absolutely love it. It's changed our lives, so I want to help you change yours by moving to the beautiful and sunny Phoenix, Arizona area. So without further ado, like I said, the pros and cons, they keep kind of rolling into each other. But you know, again, there's new builds everywhere. I'm not kidding, guys, literally everywhere, all over Maricopa. And you can get a brand new home in the mid 3s. You can go all the way up, you know, in the mid 5s, depending if you're in that Lakes region that we covered in our vlog. If you want to see more of the city, guys, actually go check out our Maricopa vlog. We cover a couple neighborhoods and what there is to do here. So go check that out after this video. But you know, just know that there's brand new homes everywhere. And again, if you're not thinking that, you know, you do want a brand new home, or you know, want like more of like an existing one, right? Just know that you can still get, it's very, very affordable here. So that's why number 1, 2, and 3, the pros, that is the 3 biggest things of why people move here, is that you can get that brand new home. You can be in that brand new neighborhood for a very affordable rate. So it's a huge part of why people love living here in Maricopa. Now this one actually might surprise you, and I'm not exactly sure why this is, but in general, Maricopa has a lot higher utility bills. So a lot of people are starting to put like solar on the roof here just to deal with the higher expenses of utilities. Even like the water, it's a private water company down here, the utilities, everything, it's a little bit more expensive. So it's about 9% higher than the national average here in Maricopa, which is actually really surprising given that it's a smaller town. So again, if you are thinking about moving to Maricopa, you know, you're gonna expect to pay a little bit higher in like your water bill and your electric bill. So that is why so many people are putting in solar. Now again, you know, it's offset, right? So there's a little bit lower housing. The taxes are nice and low, but you know, the utility prices, they are a little bit higher. So again, just if you're thinking about moving to Maricopa, it's just something to consider, right? That you know, you might be paying a couple $100 or an extra $200, depending on, you know, how cool you keep your house and how much you run your water. So just know that there are going to be a little bit higher utility expenses when moving here to Maricopa. Now moving on, our 4th pro is that, man, it is just so quiet when you get here into Maricopa. So, and the cool thing, you really have that like small town community feel. Like I said at the start of the video, there's about 60,000 people that live here in Maricopa full time. All kinds of different communities. They have like a 55 and older community, which is actually really cool. But there's about 60,000. And it is just so quiet at night. What's really cool too is you can see the stars really well. You got mountain views because it's just all reservation around us. So I'm telling you guys, it is so quiet. The only thing, there is a train that comes through the city every once in a while, but just know in general, like the neighborhoods are quiet at night. It is very, very, very quiet. It is one of the best parts about living in Maricopa. It's just the peace and serenity, living in a small town, a nice, quaint community. And what's really cool too is like people get out and they go to the parks. Go check out like Copper Sky. It is a really, really cool park, but you know, just in general, it's a very, very, very quiet city. Now we talked about moving on to our 4th con. We talked a little bit about this with just how far out, you know, Maricopa is. But if you are a huge shopper, if you love going to like shopping malls, and if you love, you know, getting out and physically walking stores, Maricopa is not going to be the place for you. You're going to have to drive. So they have, you know, outlets. Those are about 20 minutes from Maricopa. And then if you want to go to like the Chandler Fashion Square, that's a huge shopping mall in the Chandler area. Indoors, it's very, very nice. That's going to be at least 30 minutes for you. And then if you want to go to like the biggest shopping in the Phoenix Metro, which is around the Old Town area at the Scottsdale Fashion Square, or all the way up in northern Scottsdale up at Kierland, you know, those are going to be at least 45 minutes, at least. Kierland is going to be at least an hour for you from Maricopa. So again, if you love to shop, Maricopa does not have the best shopping. You know, like I said at the start, it has your everyday stuff, right? But you know, like car dealerships, those aren't anywhere down here. They do have some like little tire stores, and they do have, you know, some stores that you can get like clothes and stuff at. But for the most part, if you are going to want to shop, and if you love shopping, I would suggest, you know, it's still an amazing spot to live. Just know that you're going to have to be driving a lot more. So it all just comes down to your lifestyle, guys. And that is exactly what we do. We help. If you were thinking about making a move, we dive in. Hey, what are your lifestyle? What do you like to do? And then we pinpoint exactly where we think that you should live, because we cover the entire Phoenix Valley and we absolutely love it. So guys, again, pause the video, reach out to us down below, and comment down below. I want to know your thoughts about my pros and cons list of Maricopa so far. moving on to our 5th pro, one of the best things that Maricopa has to offer. And guys, if you have seen any videos on my channel, you absolutely know I love to golf. One of the only reasons that I moved down here, that and combined with the beautiful weather. But they have 2 amazing golf courses here. Now, unfortunately, there's actually a course right behind me. So this is the Duke at El Dorado. I've not played here yet. It is really high on my list. I just have not gotten an opportunity to come down here yet. It's a public course, and you kind of get that desert feel, but it's still kind of like a Parkland style. You know, like it has a unique feel. It's a really, really nice course, especially in like the winter time. You can get their, they have a card there, so you can get a little bit lower rates. So the Duke at El Dorado, again, it's right on the other side of this lake here. It's a really, really, really good course. The other one I say the best for last is Action Southern Dunes. Southern Dunes is without a doubt, it is the 2nd best course that I've played in the entire Phoenix Metro. Papago, in case you're wondering, is number 1. That course is absolutely phenomenal. Oh my gosh, I can talk all day, but we'll stay focused on Southern Dunes. Southern Dunes, it is a USGA qualifier course. If they're having qualifiers there, you know it is absolutely amazing. It does get a little expensive in the winter time. That's why I only play it in the summer. In the summer, you can play it for 50 bucks. It's absolutely incredible. Like you're out, they have these tall eucalyptus trees. You're out on the reservation land. So there is absolutely nothing. You are just on a golf course. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I could go on and on about it all day. So that is a huge, huge pro about living in Maricopa. I'm not gonna lie, when we were thinking about moving, I wanted to get my wife down here just so that I could play that course more often. It is that good. It is that worth the wait. Honestly, if you're even thinking about moving to Phoenix, just come down here and you have to play it. It's absolutely phenomenal. I cannot say high enough things about it. Phenomenal golf course, great practice facilities. It's the best. It's the absolute best. So that's a huge pro about living in Maricopa. Now, moving on to our final con, we have one more pro, so make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end. But our final con about moving to Maricopa is there's not a ton of job opportunities here. You know, most people that live in, here in Maricopa, it's a commuter city, right, that we call it. So if you've seen like our Mesa video, it's similar to that in that, a lot of people that live in Maricopa, they either work from home or they go up and they work in the Phoenix metro area. Yes, there are some jobs. The casino's a huge employer. The city, schools, stuff like that. Those are huge employers down here in Maricopa. But again, for the most part, if you're going to work, most of the jobs, you're gonna be driving up to Chandler, Tempe, Gilbert, Phoenix, Scottsdale, all those areas. There's not a ton of jobs down here, so that is a huge, huge con about moving to Maricopa. Obviously, you can always find a job, right, in the service industry or anything like that. But there's just in general, there's just not quite as many jobs as there are if you were living in the East Valley. If you like this video, I want you to comment down below. What are your thoughts about my list so far? And maybe what have I missed if you live here or if you've been here, if you know of anybody. Also message, I want to know where you're from. I was from Nebraska originally, so comment down below. I really want to know where you are watching this from. And my last pro is, honestly, Maricopa does a phenomenal job with their parks. So as you can see right here, this is the Smith-Enke Park. This is up in the, that is not right. It is not the Smith-Enke Park, but it's off of Smith-Enke in the northern part of Maricopa. But again, it's just really, really cool that you get, fountains, and there's a ton of little parks like this all over the Maricopa area. Go check out Copper Sky. It's a rec center. They have literally everything. Oh my gosh, I was there today just walking the grounds, filming for you guys, and I couldn't believe it. I want to move here just so that I have access to that area. So the parks in Maricopa are absolutely amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. It is a huge, huge pro about living here. Almost every neighborhood has like a, not quite as big as this playground behind me, but almost every neighborhood here has like green space and walking trails, and it's just an absolutely amazing, amazing spot. So guys, that wraps it up for our pros and cons about Maricopa. Again, it is an amazing spot to live. I wish the traffic getting in and out was just a little bit better, and I would for sure move here. I love how quiet it is, and I love how affordable it is for many Americans. Prices have gone up so much in the Phoenix Valley. Maricopa's kind of been shielded from that. It's still appreciated, but it's still, you can get into a really nice home for a really good price. So I cannot recommend Maricopa enough if you can deal with some of the cons that we talked about earlier. So guys, that wraps it up on our video. Check out our other video about the Maricopa vlog, as well as the map video showing you exactly where everything is located in Maricopa. So that way, if you're thinking about making a move, you already know everything about Maricopa. So guys, that is it. Check out those 2 videos and check out the other videos on our channel. So we'll see you soon, and thanks for watching.